Good evening and welcome to Musician Spotlight. This is Michael Marsalik. It's my pleasure to welcome to the program tonight John DeRue.
Thanks, Michael.
Welcome to town, he says, I am the trickster, going around and around and around. Welcome to town, he says, I am the trickster, I am the trickster, so welcome to town. Where is this place that the four winds have dropped me? I am a stranger who swallowed a star. It's not on your map, no, it's not on your map, boy. Didn't you know true places never are? Walking with storms, he is walking with jokes, and taking a nap on the beautiful lawn. What was that feeling, oh what was that memory? I once had a hunch, but the hunch it is gone. Welcome to town, he says, I am the trickster, going around and around and around. Welcome to town, he says, I am the trickster, I am the trickster, so welcome to town. Welcome to town, he says, I am the trickster, I am the trickster, so welcome to town.
My guest tonight on the program is John DeRue. Welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Thanks. I've had a chance to hear you just a couple of times already, and I understand you're kind of new to the state, so maybe new to Montana, and tell me a little bit about what brought you here, maybe first.
Actually, I went to school here in 1984, and I'm from Michigan, and after 1984, I just went back to the Midwest for a while and lived in Chicago for a while, and last year decided to move back to Missoula.
Great. Well, welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be here.
So tell me about playing different places that you've played. Like, I know you've done, if I understand right, quite a few different coffee house settings and a lot of different kind of spontaneous maybe, or gigs on the fly kind of thing. And have you had a chance to do a lot of performing that way?
I pretty much just try to seek out anywhere I can play, you know. I'll come over and play in your living room if you let me, and if you promise you'll pay attention.
That's great. Well, sometimes I think, you know, Missoula's got a pretty good, a fairly good coffee house circuit. I mean, there's places to play, and there are places around. But I think that some of the best gigs are those small, intimate things where people are there for the music and not there, you know, you as a musician are not background noise.
Definitely, yeah. It's by far the best situation where a small, intimate crowd where people are there to listen to you and pay attention, and you can kind of, you know, try to communicate with them.
So tell me about your songwriting. The song we just heard is one of yours, and have you written a lot of music?
Yeah, I started writing songs when I was about 13 or 14 or something like that. And I've probably written 120 songs or so. And right now I have a repertoire of maybe 60, maybe 45 of my own, 15 covers.
Do they fit any theme? I mean, the stuff I've seen you
Well-
do is really eclectic. I mean, you have a lot of different styles and things that you do, and some fairly humorous things and some other things that are maybe more towards the social justice end of things, or...
I try to, I'm just a combination of all my influences, and I like almost every kind of music except maybe opera. But so my songs reflect that.
So tell me a little bit about some of those influences. Who are some of the performers or people that have influenced your life and your music?
Early on, when I was a little kid, I listened to country music a lot because my mom grew up on a farm in Michigan, and so the country station was on, and the honesty and the straightforwardness of country songs influenced me, and some of the humor too.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was a teenager, obviously, I got into Bob Dylan and Neil Young and people like that, and the Velvet Underground was a real big influence. And later on, I was influenced a lot by various jazz people, like Billie Holiday, Lester Young, and also some of the avant-garde jazz artists of the 60s and 70s, like Ornette Coleman especially, and Art Ensemble of Chicago, people like that.
Sounds like you have really eclectic tastes as well as in your style and your playing.
Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, on any given day, I might listen to, Ornette Coleman, the Monkees, and Hank Williams, all in a row. So, I don't know.
I've always thought that having a diversity of listening helps a musician. It gives you a different perspective, even if it's not something that you necessarily aspire to or like, but it gives you certainly a different base to look at things from.
It does. It does a lot. Like, as far as like jazz influences, one reason, I mean, the solo guitar and harmonica format has its limitations, obviously. But one thing I can do is improvise, change the words to the song, and I don't have to worry about the guys in the band following me.
Right. Have you done much collaboration with other players?
I was in bands until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but that was all people in Michigan, and I'm always interested in collaborating with people, but I find it's difficult to get people who are on the same wavelength, and then you need practice space, and you have to buy expensive big electronic things, and
Well, there's something to be said about throwing your guitar in your back and your harmonica in your pocket and being able to play anywhere.
yeah, that I really like that freedom.
I've often thought that, our world certainly is not a musical. I mean, people don't break into song on every street corner. But if we had more freedom and flexibility, one thing that I've missed being in Montana, that I've discovered in other parts of the country is the street musicians and the people that you find doing just that, playing and singing on a street corner. For no apparent reason. Maybe there's a guitar case open and they're playing for change, maybe not, but sharing their art with the world. And I don't think we have enough of that in Montana. We need more of that.
I agree. I'd agree with you there.
Good. So have you had an opportunity to do any recording, or are you planning on doing some things? Would you like to?
Yeah, I have been making a tape here in Missoula at a studio downtown, and I still have to have it needs a little more work.
It's an ongoing battle, I think.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of studio shy, When the tape starts rolling, you start thinking, wow, this is for posterity, and I still have to get over that.
Right. Where do you see yourself in 3 or 4 years? Just think you're going to stick around Montana and keep doing music? And
I don't know. It depends on if the opportunities are here. I'd like to make a living playing music someday. That would be great. You know, if I'm not good enough or I'm not playing the right kind of music and it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But you know, Montana's great, and whether I could stick around just depended on how many opportunities there were here. And but Missoula's got quite a few opportunities for the size town it is, definitely.
What do you think about the differences between the music scene in Michigan, where you were from? Where were you actually in Michigan? What city? Or
Kalamazoo's where I was born.
So what's the biggest differences that you notice between Kalamazoo and Missoula?
Well, there's a heck of a lot more people in Michigan, you know, and people in Montana, I think, still have a real sense, even though the state is enormous, they have a real sense of being Montanans and community. Like Missoula seems to have. Missoula has a lot more going on in it culturally than Kalamazoo does, because if you grow up in Kalamazoo and you're interested in culture at all, you move to Chicago. But a lot of people have been moving to Missoula, and they kind of bring the culture from the big city or whatever into Missoula with them.
I think that community that you spoke of, that maybe that broader sense of community, of sharing with each other in a real positive way, is an incredibly important thing, and that certainly is one of the reasons that I've chosen to live where I live. You know, it's a good thing.
Well, you get a different perspective on life out in the West, you know, because the space is different, the geography is different, and you know, you walk out your door, and in Missoula you can see the mountains ringing the valley, and you feel enclosed, and you're kind of in that valley with all these people, you know. I walk out my door in Michigan, I can't see past the treetops, you know. I can see 50 yards. And it's a different, you know, I think it has some subtle influence that way, the geography of the place.
And the sheer numbers of people certainly has an effect as well.
Yeah.
Well, I like the music you've been doing, and I'd like you to play some more stuff for us.
I'd be glad to.
My guest tonight on Musician Spotlight is John DeRue.
This called Behemoth Blues, and it's kind of about being under the thumb of large behemoths. And Lord knows there are a lot of them these days.
If I knew my name, I would tell it. Every one of the fevers expose. If I knew who I was, I would yell it loud. This world never seemed so ironic, never rang so damn true as today, as I go barefoot over blues. Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues. Two days drive and we could be out of here with the warmer weather. Babe, a faulty mythology's poison so dear. Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues, Behemoth blues. Oh, yeah. 2 days drive and we could be out of here with the warmer weather. Babe, faulty mythology's poison so dear. Oh, this world never seemed so ironic, never rang so damn true as today as I go barefoot over sharp blues. Be on my blues. Be on my blues. Be on my blues. Behemoth blues. Blues. Behemoth blues. Blues. Behemoth blues. Idam ho shiliambala kondola haindolem lalombalala. Ooh.
This next song is about driving around town and thinking you're always seeing the car of the person who you just broke up with.
In my town, there's a lot of empty streets. Full but empty, if you know what I mean. I'm an eyes peeled lookout with my feet on the floor. Ever since you cut my parachute cord. Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Was it red? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Now I'm back at the house 'cause there's nothing to do. But everything there reminds me of you. Like the presents you gave me too good for the dump. And all of the hair you left in my brush. Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Was it a red one? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Red light, Saturday night, rear view mirror, was that you? The biggest mistake of my life, was that you? Was that your Subaru? Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Bop, bop, ba-da, bop, ba. So I listen to country music a lot and drive by all of our favorite spots. Yeah, I used to feel high as an elephant's eye. Now I'm all run over too shy to try? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Was it red? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Was it a red one? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? Was it a red one? Was that your Subaru? I wonder. Was that your Subaru? I suppose I've been sleeping about 24 hours. Had egg rolls and jello for breakfast on Saturday night. Now the world's just sitting there, pregnant in the sun. I'm looking for a new color, I wanna be the one to live in my own undiscovered country. Red Arrow Highway, I'm your man, your vineyards and lakes, all the pleasures on the land. Come on, hold me close in your clouds, crazy swirls. Come on, come on, let me bed down in grass. Another hot, humid Midwestern day has me cross-eyed and pickled in the usual way. See the stubborn bread basketeers trying to recreate. Ha! Now the rain comes a sprinkle watering my memory, sprouting seeds that I'd forgotten, thunderhead cherubians, dampening all the undiscovered country. Red Arrow Highway, I'm your man, your vineyards and lakes, all the pleasures on the land. Come on, hold me close in your clouds, crazy swirls. Come on, come on, let me bed down in grass. The sun is out now, the radio's on. My blue puddle jumper is a mirror. The poet Ernie informs us the tram has just gloved the humpbacked liner. What a kick of a road, my lifetime comes down to this moment. Terrapine, Carolina, Carolina. Terrapine, Carolina, Carolina. Now the summer's on us like a baby's cry. We're packing it up and saying goodbye. Got to make a run for that undiscovered country. If I knew what I wanted to say, I wouldn't be working this job all day. And if I knew what I wanted to do, I'd pick out a plan and carry it through. Oh. afternoon stumbles straight down the dunes with its dragonfly escort. Sometimes I think every bug in the world lives in Michigan, sucking the peaches, my private motifs, bought at some roadside fruit stand. I have mortgaged the day for the wind in my face and the luck of a gull on the shoreline. Red Arrow Highway, I'm your man, your vineyards and lakes, all the treasures on the land. Oh, come on, hold me close in your clouds' crazy swirls. Come on, let me bed down in grass. Come on, 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 ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Frantic and red, and the sun meets its death, barebacked like Bruegel's horsemen. Muddy with nuance, I'm pacing this dumb arabesque. I am such an American. I believe all things are possible. Engaged in my small self-deceptions, in desperate need of renewal. Undone on the beach of this sweet inland sea. This was once all an overflowing paradise, but today my footfall leaves no poetry. And now that it's gone, I must leave. Red Arrow Highway, I'm your man, your vineyards and lakes, all the pleasures on the land. Oh, come on, hold me close in your clouds' crazy swirls. Come on, let me bed down in grass. Come on, let me bed down in grass. Come on, let me bed down. When the night falls down, let me bed down in grass.
My guest tonight on Musician Spotlight has been John DeRue. John, it's always fun to hear you play.
Thanks a lot for inviting me on the show.
Once I was blue. Once I was blue. I said once I was blue. Now I'm the brown Danube. Now I'm the brown Danube. Now I'm the brown. Now I'm the brown. Now I'm the brown Danube. Whoa.
This is Michael Marsalic. Good evening and welcome to Musician Spotlight. It's my pleasure to welcome my guest tonight, David Rocke.
Big old oil tanker heading out to sea. The captain knew that he was sailing the rust bucket of the fleet. Big old oil tanker with her skeleton crew, who were just glad to be working, though to them the job was new. And when the sea got angry, the wind she blew up to, big old oil tanker, what are we gonna do? Big old oil tanker, what are we supposed to do with you? Big old oil tanker, she's seen a history, hauled the precious cargo around each of the 7 seas. Big old oil tanker, big oil company. The world was getting smaller and the oil was spilling free. And when the sea got angry, the wind she blew up to, big old oil tanker, what are we gonna do? Big old oil tanker, what are we supposed to do with you? Big old oil tanker, big old engines fail. The crew they did abandon, lest be taken by the gale. Big old oil tanker, to roam the sea no more. For now she lay in pieces here on our blackened shore. When the sea got angry, the wind she blew up to, big old oil tanker, what are we gonna do? When the sea gets angry, the wind she blows up to, big old oil tanker, what are we supposed to do with you?
My guest tonight on the program is David Rocke. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, are you strictly on vacation? Did we put you completely to work by bringing you in here?
Well, actually, this is the last day of my vacation.
Wow.
Today. So, yeah, it's time to get back to work, I guess.
Yeah. Are you driving or flying back?
Flying back.
All right.
Flying back to Brooklyn.
Yep. Make your home in New York City.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, David, what brought you to Montana? Is it strictly R&R?
Well, my wife went to school out here, and she's got a bunch of friends out here and that I've gotten to know over the last 5 years or so. And so we come out here and we hang with the folks.
Great. Great. Well, it's great to hear some of your new music as well. You have a CD released last year. Here it is, and have quite a history of music, though, in your family. Are you performing a lot?
Well, yeah, I mean, I go out on the road with my sister's band. They have a group called the Roaches.
Right.
And for the last few years, I've been traveling all around the country with them as their opening act. And that has afforded me a lot of, road time, doing a lot of shows. And,
Yeah.
and when I'm in New York, I have a band that I play with, a 5-piece band.
Mm-hmm.
And, I also do solo gigs here and there around the city.
Mm-hmm. Have you, obviously there's been a history of music in your family for years, but have you always been really musical ever since you were real young, or?
Well, yeah, I think so. As far back as I can remember, I've always been, you know, writing songs and singing songs and, you know,
Great.
just into it. There was always music around the house. And
Mm-hmm. Where do you fall in the family?
I'm the youngest.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was gonna hesitate to guess, but so what was it like growing up with these three older sisters that were doing music all the time? Actually, they
Well,
weren't as
I've
trio
blocked
for-
it out.
Have you really?
I don't know what it was like. No, it was great. We get along really well. For us all to be working together like we have been, it's you had better get along well.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to spend all that time together, and we get along great. You know, we're very supportive of each other, and but to answer your question, when I was growing up, well, I've blocked it out. I really don't know. It must have been just too painful, too torturous.
Right. How much older are they? I mean, are they?
Oh, very much older. Very
Very.
much older. Yes.
Ah.
They're in a different generation, actually.
You've had an opportunity, I think, as you've said, to do some music with them in the form of, you know, backing them up. They've also sung some harmony vocals on your recording. Here it is, and I think you've done some stuff on some of the Roche's albums, haven't you?
Let me think.
I
if
see
I've
your
done
name in a
anything.
liner note somewhere.
Well, they usually the past few albums I've gotten special thanks on the record for various duties that I have performed for them. I think basically, especially in the last 4 years, you know, I've been very supportive of them, and I've been around, and you know, maybe I've just been able to be of help in terms of you know, moral support and
Sure.
creative support or whatever.
Sure.
But as far as singing on their records, I think the only time that I've actually performed on one of their records is they did a Christmas record called We Three Kings.
Right.
And the last song on that record is Silver Bells. And I was one of the members of a group called the Hallmarks
All right.
that sing on Silver Bells.
All right.
There was 3 of us, called ourselves the Hallmarks.
You guys probably have other opportunities to collaborate anyway, though. I mean, with
Well, Terry and I wrote a song once that wound up in the movie, wound up as the theme song for the movie Crossing Delancey. It was a song called Lucky.
yeah.
And I'll go over to Suzzy's house and help her with her demos sometimes, you know, with her home recording and things like that. You know, just developmental things, you know. Nothing that usually winds up on record, but yeah, we just generally support each other and bounce ideas off each other and that sort of thing.
It's nice that you get along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, tell me about your songs and your songwriting. How do you work? Do you come up with an idea for a song, or do you something come to you as far as lyrics or a melody or a tune, and then you expand from there? How do you work?
Yeah, it's always different. Yeah, all those things you just said are true. You know, I'll work on songs for a long time, usually. You know, I've worked on songs for years, you know, before I'll even play them for anybody. And then sometimes I'll write a song in the space of 2 or 3 days. It'll all be fleshed out and, you know, ready to go. Sometimes I'll write on piano, sometimes I'll write on guitar. Sometimes I'll have a lyrical idea first, sometimes I'll have a musical idea first. So that's kind of what's nice about the bag I'm in, is that it's very creative. You can come from a lot of different angles to get where you're going with it.
Great. Tell me who's influenced your playing, your singing, your musicianship in general,
Oh, geez, a lot of people.
besides the siblings, perhaps.
Right. Well, the Roaches definitely. I've learned a lot from watching them. That's for sure. I've always been a big fan of songwriters, people like Paul Simon, James Taylor, and But I've also listened to. When I was a teenager, my favorite group was the Mahavishnu Orchestra. So I like a lot of different things. My latest fave raves, I guess, are. Have you heard Daniel Lanois' new record?
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. And Robbie Robertson put out a record last year, Storyville. I really like that record too. I recommend it to you if you haven't heard it. Oh God, there's so many people that I've been influenced by. Elton John. I was a big Elton John fan for a long time. Joni Mitchell's music has always been amazing to me.
Sounds like you have pretty eclectic tastes, which I think can really help a songwriter.
Yeah, I like to, be open to, whatever's around, whatever's done well. I like to check it out,
Tell me about what you envision on the agenda for David Roach, as far as what would you like to do? Continue to perform, do some more recordings? Got somebody that you really want to collaborate with that you haven't?
Well,
like that?
I will just be thankful to be able to continue to do my work. It's no secret that the music business is a tough business, and it's hard to really, make a name for yourself in this business. But that's what you need to do to continue doing the work, So I'm just hoping that, I can continue to do the work. I know I'll always be writing songs. I've been writing songs since I'm like 5 years old. So I've been doing it a long time. It's kind of second nature to me now. I can't imagine not writing songs and singing and playing the guitar. But I'm just hoping that if I keep my nose to the grindstone, that everything will take its own course and the right things will happen. And if I'm supposed to wind up washing dishes, well, then so be it.
Songwriting while you do the other things. It certainly happens to a lot of folks, and there's a lot of great songwriters out there that don't get the opportunity to showcase a lot of their music. And
I know. I'm very fortunate in that way that I've been able to travel and have people hear what I do. It's, can't complain.
Yeah, that's
Can't
great.
complain about that.
Well, I hope that you...
Even though I do complain all the time about that.
I hope that you can do a Western tour at some point and get out here.
Yeah.
Have you played anywhere in this area yet?
Well, geez, I guess Seattle was the closest place, which is where I broke my finger about a month ago. Got it slammed in a car door. But I think, Seattle is probably the closest to Missoula that I've done a performance.
Well, it'd be great to get you out here to do some of your music in a concert setting. So I hope we can do that. And maybe you can drag the sisters along too at some point and do a.
I keep telling them how great it is out here and that they should come on out. And I guess we're just waiting for the right opportunity to do that.
Right. Well, good. Well, I hope that happens soon. I'd like to hear you play some more music.
You got it.
Here's some things off your new CD. David Roach is my guest, and his latest recording is called Here It Is.
This song is indeed off my album. It's called Yearning. I can't stop this yearning, burning desire to reach into the fire. All these half measures release a piece of steam, but do not douse the flames that fire the dream. Pressure mounting, wild heart pounding. Is there no control of this machine? I can't stop this yearning. I can't deny her. With her eyes on fire, burning with pleasure. In a world so cold and mean that cannot feel the sear or hear the scream. Pressure mounting, wild heart pounding. It could burst the soul into smithereens. I can't stop this yearning. Cost it requires as the flames jump higher. This hidden treasure just serves to torture me while I twist and hiss and revel in the agony. Pressure mounting, wild heart pounding as the final cinders in the wind fly free. I can't stop this yearning. Whoa. Here's another brand new song. It's called The Jewel of Love. Can you say who it was told you that the word love could ring true? What sins of old, ice cold household that formed this curious mold that you can't break from a stronghold, the jewel of love that you're part of. You so heartless as to impress that your efforts were worthless. What sins of old, ice cold household that helped you and hurts you, but will never desert you. The jewel of love that you're part of. In the one word that you can't say is the chance that you'll be okay. The jewel of love, the jewel of love, the jewel of love. The jewel of love. This next tune is a song that I like to do a lot. It was written by a guy by the name of Paul Brady, who is an Irishman, great songwriter, singer, songwriter. The song is called Nobody Knows. Johnny's got high expectations. He's gonna rise. And everyone knows that Johnny is ready. He's ready to fly. Up on the rooftop, he turns to the crowd. No one is waiting, 'cause no one is there. Nobody knows why Elvis threw it all away. Nobody knows what Ruby had to hide. And nobody knows why some of us get broken hearts, while some of us find a world that's clear and bright. You could be packed up and ready, knowing exactly where to go. How come you missed the connection? There's no use in asking. The answer is nobody knows. There's no use in asking. The answer is nobody knows. Johnny will keep his illusions. What else can he do?
happened to you. Up on the rooftop, it's a whole other world. Who could see heaven and not want to stay? Nobody knows why Elvis threw it all away. Nobody knows what Ruby had died. Nobody knows why some of us get broken hearts. Well, some of us find a world that's clear and bright. Now you could be packed up and ready, knowing exactly where to go. How come you missed the connection? There's no use in asking. The answer is nobody knows. There's no use in asking. The answer is nobody knows. The answer is nobody knows.
This is Michael Marsalik. You've been listening to Musician Spotlight tonight on the program. David Roach. Thanks again for being here, David.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
It's great to have a chance to connect with you on your short vacation out here. I hope we can get you back to Montana soon.
Yeah, well, just let us know when you're making those cherry pies again up at Drum Brothers, and we'll be there.
Great. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
David Roach.
What's a good thing to do? How's a way to carry on? I've been asking myself that from the start and all along. And now you've heard me ask, so I am not alone. It's just the most important thing to me. With a number for the queen. And that wasn't me you saw out on the town and in the scene. And the thing that breaks my heart don't mean a hill of beans. It's just the most important thing to me. Look in my eyes, through the tears streaming down, and know that it's real, that you're safe in this town, that the truth in this world is in the love you have found. Look in my eyes, through your tears streaming down, and know that it's real, that you're safe in this town, the truth in this world is in the love you have found.